Well, as you guys know, I'm deep into the restoration of my Honda CBX, and I'm always going to be in need of parts. Now, some stuff from the engine is going to be hard to find, so when I saw this thing pop up on Facebook Marketplace, I definitely had to jump at the opportunity to go get it. It's been sitting in the woods, torn apart since about 1985, so let's get it back to the shop and I'll talk about exactly what's usable and what's not. Alright, well, we didn't really get to film much or talk much about this, but we have a parts bike. So this is another 1979 model. Had 7,000 miles on it, but I don't know why it stopped running or whatever, and the guy decided to pull the motor and figure out what's wrong with it. So we have a mostly complete engine. You know, here's some of the extremities over there, but as you saw, there was a lot of leaves, so there were a lot of parts that were, like all the engine brackets, I'm sure, are still down there, you know, just somewhere sitting in the dirt. But it was like you remove a layer of leaves, and then you have parts, and then you remove the parts, and then you have a layer of leaves, and then you have more parts. So it was like archaeology trying to dig up some stuff. But sure enough, this dude found the airbox to this bike, which was the main thing we wanted. So anyway, we're gonna get these things out and see what we got. All right, well, we have a mess on our hands for sure. So, Seth, what year does that plate say?
It was like 85. Yeah, 85.
So 1985, this thing has been sitting. It has just 7,300 miles on it. Sad to see. My suspicion, and you gotta think, why would they pull the bottom half off? My suspicion is that they left the fuel on and the number one rod got bent. So we're gonna flip this thing over and kind of take a peek at it. You know, at this point it's been sitting exposed since 85, so it's probably no good. I am curious as to the condition of the alternator brushes here. So that's gonna be something to take a peek at. Low mileage, it could be pretty decent. For some reason, Seth is feeling spicy and wants to make this thing run.
I think we could do it.
Oop, there's a pole here. Like, originality wouldn't really be a problem with this one.
No.
Not that we have any other projects going right now, but it would be kind of fun to do a little junkyard rebuild of that CBX engine. It's pretty much all there.
Just a beater CBX.
A beater CBX, you know? I don't know. Just something to do burnouts on and get all the sound clips. We'll just cut off, you know, we'll have it like open header and just 6 individual pipes. Actually, I have 2 exhaust systems.
Oh, well, there you go.
So, yeah. Well, it's flipped over, and sure enough, number one rod is bent. You can see the curve right there. So it hydrolocked the number one, and that's why it was parked. Just vacuuming my CBX engine. Whoa. Yeah, your valve clearance is now 0 because they're one piece. This thing's dunzos, man. So just for fun, I threw the carbs in here and ultrasonically cleaned a leaf.
They're basically rebuilt.
How's the leaf look?
Needs new seals.
Ah,
Just like buckle it out.
that's another leaf.
Oh. I want to make sure you remove your leaves prior to engine startup. There's a lot of leaves in that thing.
Those gloves were a good idea. So it's a steaming pile of
Something.
steaming pile.
They're not carburetors.
Ugh.
Although they kind of cleaned up-ish.
Yeah, just getting some of that mud off of them. They could use a power wash for sure. But these screws have not been touched.
That's really sad.
These things have never been into. Now, even though this thing really is kind of a boat anchor, there are usable parts on this bike and it is worth what I got it for. So one of the things were the alternator plates here. These things are notorious for wearing out. The ones on my bike were pretty terrible, and this thing only had 7,000 miles on it, so we've already pulled those off. Unfortunately, the alternator itself, the stator and everything, I don't know if they can be saved, or at least we want to put that kind of effort in right this second. I'm sure they clean up, but the actual plates are way better. So these are the two that were out of that engine on the table. There's a little wear, but like I can't hardly feel anything with my finger, like dragging it along the side. They're pretty smooth. So you can see where that thing was kind of seated on there for the last few decades. Well, the one on my bike, or the ones that came off, it is grooved. It's pretty bad. And if you look at the back side of this, you can kind of see the bluing. This thing got really hot. So you can even see that scar in there. It's pretty bad. So luckily, we can actually work with these. That's an improvement. And just these two parts made the whole cost worth it. You know, we got the air box, we got those, and we may even have more. So if we needed, we have calipers, but this headlight bucket is in perfect condition. It's just dirty, but it's not cracked on the sides or anything like that. And that's hard to, that's hard to find. Mine just has a little crack right there, but I'm definitely gonna clean this one up and use it. So it will be an improvement. We have a good headlight. Well, I don't know about the headlight. We have a good headlight ring that would polish up. We do have a good set of gauges. These things are in pretty solid shape. So I'll probably try to sell those things, but we have a whole front end. The wheels are in great shape, the rotors, the calipers and stuff. So there's a lot of good bits on here still. So if you guys are interested in any of the parts, let me know. I don't know how many I'll really be using, but I at least got what I want with the alternator brushes and of course that headlight bucket. Now as far as other things on the engine, You know, we're really curious as to whether or not the cylinder head is good. I mean, there's not a single cracked or chipped fin on this engine, which is incredible. Now pulling one of the cam holders off, obviously there's going to be a little discoloration just with this thing sitting, but realistically, not bad. So I am curious if I were to pull the camshafts out, slowly work on getting the actual buckets out of this thing if possible. You know, I bet this head could be very savable. I'm very curious, but like, man, every fin is perfect on here. The cases are totally usable. You know, you clean these things up, put fresh bearings in it, you know, I bet you can absolutely run this. So it's just been sitting out in the woods. So a little torn on what to do with it. You know, like the transmission and stuff like that. This is pretty much rusted solid at this point. It wouldn't be worth trying to reuse considering the replacement cost. I mean, it's like 60 bucks for a whole transmission on eBay. You know, oil pump, I'm sure that's locked up. But we do have side covers. I definitely think, you know, we got our money's worth out of this thing. Well, I totally forgot to mention, we have also a very good condition valve cover. There are no cracks in this thing. No big chips, really. It's in darn good shape. So that is something else I could totally either use or resell. The carburetors, I mean, sure, the plates look rough and stuff, but if you're gonna, you know, do a restoration on a CBX, you're going to end up having all this stuff re-zinc plated anyway. So I know me, I could totally save these carbs, but they are worth something. That thing's always broken. But yeah, it would be fun to try to restore those things. Now, of course, this video is about the parts bike that we got and the stuff that we're gonna use and how it's gonna help us on our big project. But yeah, the next video you're gonna see is going to be on the engine itself. So we are making some really good headway on this thing. You can see how clean the cases are. So we've been really jamming away at that. We have the head partially cleaned up. Tomorrow I'm taking this to a machine shop. We're gonna need every exhaust guide on this thing, probably the intake guides too, probably every single valve. We'll see. But we're just getting organized. We're getting everything cataloged and whatnot. So we're actually making some headway on this, doing some repairs to cam caps, again, looking at valves. And I do have parts on the way right now from the Netherlands. So I don't know how long it's gonna take at the machine shop to get the head work done, but I'm hoping within the next couple weeks I can have the cases painted and assembled. So that would be really awesome. That would clear up a lot of space in here. So it's gonna start going together. I'm really excited about it and I hope you guys are too. So look for the next video on the bike to be more in depth on the engine. I wanna showcase more stuff. I just don't have enough footage right now, but I'm definitely excited to be back on this project. Let me know if you guys like the format, kind of down and dirty, shot a lot with the cell phone. Just trying to post a lot of updates for you guys, so I hope you guys are enjoying them. But anyway, hope you guys like this one. Subscribe if you haven't already. Check out the website, grab a hat or a hoodie, something like that. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.